Project 1. All right, everyone, welcome to the screencast. This will show you how to complete Project 1 for EDU 242, 342. I will start by pulling up the rubric here and kind of going over step by step what you need to do to complete each portion of this project. So the first thing before you even get going on any of these elements is you will need to set up an account on Weebly. .com. If you've used Weebly.com, it's a site that will help you create your very own web page. Now, unfortunately, because I already have an account, I can't show you what it looks like to start from zero. But what you will need to do is sign up for a Weebly account. You'll need to create a subdomain, and it will guide you through all of these steps. And eventually, you're going to get to a screen like this after you choose a template that you want to use for your web page. So you'll just have homepage. You may see a couple of other pages like an About Me page and some other things like that. But what you will need to do is first go to Pages, because you're going to create one more page, and this page will be called your digital portfolio. So on the Pages, again, this will be your original screen. Go up to the top where it says Pages, click Pages, and then click Standard Page. And you click a plus sign before that. I'm going to call this page the Digital Portfolio page, and then you will want to call this, I prefer a no header. It just gives you a little bit more space. Now, if you want to have these things that allow you to choose different layouts, I just skip all of that. It's not really necessary for our purposes. We're just going to make a very simple web page. So click Save, and then you want to go back to the Build. Click the Build tab at the top, and then you'll have all of these nice little drag and drop buttons that you can use. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to drag in 3 different buttons. So we're going to drag in button 1, and then I'm going to drag in button 2. Now, if you'll notice, it may be hard to see on the screencast, there's going to be a little blue line. If you just drop it here on the blue line, this will drop this button underneath it. The other thing that you can do is now if you grab this little handlebar here, you can pull it to the side, and you'll see a little blue line over to the right. I'm going to let that go, and then it'll kind of put them next to each other. So I'm going to grab one more button so I get a third button, and I want 3 stacked across. If you can't get them stacked across and that's giving you a little bit of trouble, don't worry about it. If they're just stacked on top of each other, that's fine too. So for my first button, there's a lot of things you can do with this. You can change the button style. I could make it this color of a button or whatever I want, or a bigger one. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I'll make this one another color. I'll make this one like that. And now the first thing you're going to call this is, if you just click here, then you'll be able to type where it says button text. We're going to call this one Opening Statement. And this is from the first day in class. So if you go to your Google Drive, you'll be able to find this document that you created the first day in class called Opening Thoughts. It has a number of things on it. Just look over the rubric and make sure that you have all of these bullet points, things that are on your document. Well, if you have all those things, go ahead and click the Share button. Click this. There'll be a button up here. It's probably grayed out for you. It'll say Get Shareable Link. Click that button, and then copy the link here. Go back to the Opening Statement button. Click on it. Press Link, and then in the website URL, you're going to paste in that link. I also select the option that says Open Link in New Window. So I click Save. Now you'll notice that this link won't be clickable right now. Nothing will really work on your website in terms of clicking through to another site until you click the Publish button. We'll get to that later. So right now we've completed the first item on the rubric. So we want to go back to the rubric and figure out what's the next thing we need to do. It says you need to include your Nearpod that you created. Include a link to the original Google Slides. There's a number of things to do on this. So I want to go to Nearpod. And the first thing I want to do is log into Nearpod, and then you want to go to, you'll probably get to a screen that looks like this. And you want to go to My Library. Once you get to My Library, you want to find your Nearpod, and then you can go ahead, several options here. You want to first click Edit, and then you click OK. Make sure that you have all the elements for this particular element on your slide. So you can see right here, this is the slide version. This is actually the wrong version of this. But one of the things that I'm missing on here is I don't have the interactive elements. So one of the things on the rubric is it says you need to have at least 4 interactive elements. So make sure when I say interactive elements on the Nearpod, what I'm referring to is if you click Add a Slide, you want to add an activity. So add an activity, and you can do an open-ended, question, poll, quiz, draw, or fill in the blank. Those are all things that count as interactive activities. You need at least 4 of those. Another thing that you're going to need to add, and this again you can do by adding a slide, click Add Slide and click Add Content. And then you can just add a slide if you want. So one of the things that you want to do with that is it's very important that you put in an objective. So it says slide with a measurable objective for the lesson. So whatever the purpose of this Nearpod that you're using, make sure you put in a slide that tells the objective. Make sure that it's less than 12 slides that you've pulled from another source. So that's like where did you get this original information from? So in my case, I got this original information. I just created it myself, but if I'm searching for it, it was the anatomy of a lesson. So this would be the original source material. So these are like the Google slides that I pulled them from. Most of you, this will be a link to a slideshare.net slide. So all you have to do is just copy the link for that particular material and then put it on your slide. So if I wanted to do that here, I might make a slide that says the objective, and write in the objective, and then I can click save, or I can even just put in like original link, and then I can post in this. Okay, so that's one way to go about it. Save it, and you are good. Now, the question is how do you get this onto your website? Well, when you are all done here, you can go ahead and you need to publish your Nearpod slide. And so you will do that by clicking the red publish button. And yes, you want to publish it. And then you will arrive at this screen. Once it is published, I'll show you what you can do next. And now you can see that that is published. You want to hover over your thing, and you're going to see 3 little dots here at the top. You want to click those little dots, click share, and then you want to get a link for it. This will give me a link directly to your Nearpod. So I copy that link, I go over here, and I say Nearpod. Then I can click link again, paste in my link, click open link, a new window, and save. All right, so now I've completed the first 2 elements of the rubric, provided that all of the things on the rubric are met. So make sure that you've made modifications to your slides, and make sure it's all uploaded in Nearpod and linked to that. So that's pretty good. The next thing I want you to do, this is an element that I just added, is I want you to embed the Google presentation from the communications in more module. So the key word here is embed. And so this is something that is slightly different. So if you've got the 3 buttons across the top, we're going to leave those 3 buttons. And the next thing that we're going to look for is one of these little tiles on the left that says embed code. So we're going to grab this and we're going to drop it underneath. I'm looking for that blue line, and I'm going to drop it right there. Now you'll see a little thing that comes up that says click to set custom HTML. We're going to come back to that. Right now I want to go back to the presentation. So if you click here, it's going to open up the communications and more presentation. And to use this, you guys have all made comments on these. And so you'll see that I've got the comments popping up. If you have not made comments on these, then you need to. Actually, a lot of people have not. So that will be part of this element, is that you are showing that you've made comments on it. So go ahead and click the share. And this time you're going to actually not do that. Excuse me. You're going to click done on there. You're going to go to File on this one, and you're going to click Publish to the Web. And the key here is because we're embedding. So again, you can get a link to something, or you can get embedded. So I'm going to click on Embed, and I want to actually change this from a medium to a small, and I'm going to click Publish. All right, so we'll go there. Now it gives me a nice little piece of code. Don't worry about all the codiness of it. Just click here, click Copy, and then you're going to go over here, and you're going to click Paste. I like to center it, and now you've got that nice Google presentation directly on your web page. And this time you don't have to click through on one of these buttons to get to it. You can just see it right there on the web page. So that's the difference between linking, is when you click on something it takes you to another website, or embedding. Embedding in this case is when we put something we created somewhere else and put it directly on the website. Now the rest of the elements that are on this rubric, you are welcome to embed or link. It's up to you. I will point out that if you embed too many things, it can really slow down the process for you. So let's move on to the next element in the rubric. I'm going to clear off of that since we're done with that. We have covered our reflection document. We've covered our Nearpod. We put in the Google presentation. The next part is Edpuzzle. So it says you needed to create at least 2 Edpuzzles with 3 or more interactive elements. So I'm going to go to my Edpuzzle. and I am going to find one of my movies here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on this one about Phineas Gage. Okay, so I'm going to go to this assign or share thing on the video that I've created, click share, and one of my options is share with anyone. And again, you're going to see that you have a link or you have an embed code. If you want to link it, you can just put it behind a button, or you can put it text, or if you want to embed it, you can put it directly on there. I'm going to go with the link on this one, but it is up to you because you have two of them, so you can do one of each. So this time I'm going to put on here Ed Puzzle 1. I'm going to press link. I'm going to paste this in, and then I'm going to click open link in new window. Save. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I have to have a second Edpuzzle in there. So this time I'm going to grab an embed code. This time I'm going to embed my second Edpuzzle. So I'm going to put it underneath that Google presentation. I'm going to go back to my Edpuzzle here. I'm going to close out of this one. And I'm going to find another one. This is an interview with a teacher. I'm actually going to go ahead and do this one here. And I'll click, again, assign, share with anyone. Well, you can see here that I've only got one interactive element. So maybe I'll find one that has more. So I'll go here. And that one only has one too. Well, who cares over there? You need to have three. I'll choose mine that has one. So I click assign share. I click share with anyone. This time I'm going to grab the embed code. I copy it. I come back here. I click where it says set custom HTML. I'm going to center that. And now my Edpuzzle is right there underneath my Google presentation that I can watch, and I can see the interactive elements on. So right now, if we go back to the rubric, we can see that we have completed elements from class 1, from class 2. We've completed the first element from class 3 and 4. So the next thing is on there is create your own quizzes. So if you have not already, you need to make sure that you created quizzes. It'll be on my quizzes. And I'm going to go with the one about earthquakes and volcanoes. So I'm going to click this. And now what I can do here is very simple. See where it says share? I'm going to click that share. And I'm going to copy this link right here. Then you could also have just grabbed this one right up here too. So now I go back, and this time I'm going to grab another button, and I'm going to put this button underneath this, and I'm going to say my quiz is. Okay, I'm going to click link, I'm going to paste that in, and I'm going to save. So now we've completed all those things for that part of the rubric. We are all the way up to class 5. The next thing is a link to your That Quiz page. So I'm going to go to That Quiz. I'm going to log in. I'm going to go to Edit Class, find the class that I have created. I'm then going to click on the link right up here, and that will open up my class page. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put in another button. So I'm going to grab a button. I'm going to make sure that blue line actually just pops to the left of this. And then now I can call this That Quiz Class. Click link, and I'm going to paste, open link there, and we're good. Okay, so that quiz is now in there too. So the next thing that you want to do on the rubric, if we look at the rubric back here, is make sure that you have designed at least a 5-question quiz and assigned it. So on that quiz, just make sure that you have a 5-question quiz at a minimum and assign it. So math fun. That is assigned. Okay, so we're good to go on that element. Next up, class 6. This is where hopefully you've already done some of the work on this. Otherwise, it might take you a little while longer. You need to have a larger three items. One has to be kind of a bigger one that's a little bit more in depth in its creativeness, and then the other one can be a smaller idea. So several things to do here. The first one I'm going to go to is actually called Pictochart. And so I've actually been working on a Pictochart today. And so you can see here, I'm going to temporarily publish this. So if you create something, this is something I've been working on. I'm actually going to go back to my home here. I'm going to get something, my save Pictochart. I'll show you something else that I've already made. So here is, I can open up this infographic that I've created about our school on the web here. And I'm going to go to just, once it's published, just make sure that you publish whatever you have. And once it's published, you will get this nice little link here. Copy it, and then now you can go back to your Weebly web page. You can put in a button, or you could embed it if you wanted. Put that button in there, and that's going to say my PictoChart. And you don't have to use PictoChart, but this is just for that particular element. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that PictoChart in there. But you need to have, again, you need to make sure that you have at least 3 items, and then one of them has to be kind of a large one. So in my case, this PictoChart that I designed, it definitely took me a little bit longer to create, but it's all about our school and kind of some various fun facts and very easy to read information. So then after you've got that PictoChart, there's other items. You can put in 2 smaller items. So I have some suggestions of things that you could do. If you made a little movie, you could put in a little movie for the larger idea, whatever you choose. Smaller ideas are going to be really easy. So I would skip to that quiz problem set, but then your thing link. So I've got thing link here that I have created on one of these. Here's a thing link. And so this is all about like reading a weather map. So there's a thing link that I have created. And if it opens up, there we go. So you can see cold front, warm front. I probably would want to add some more details to this, but when you're ready, you just click the share button. And then again, I could embed it if I so choose, but I'm just going to go with the copying the link. And I'm going to go back to my Weebly, and underneath this here, I am going to put in a button that says thing link, and then I can put link, cut and paste, open link in a window, and save. So moving on to the next item on the rubric, I'm going to get one more thing, and this time, again, you can get something from Class Tools, you can get something from StudyStack or Quizlet. I'm going to go ahead and log into Quizlet really quick, not Quizzes, but Quizlet. And once I'm logged into Quizlet, we can just grab something that I've created. So here is a Quizlet that I made on famous Supreme Court cases. Again, you go to share and you just grab the little link here, copy it. You can also embed these. These are actually great things to embed. So if you want to embed them, you just go to more and then you click embed. So I'll go ahead and embed one of these. I'll embed the flashcards. So I copy it. And now I go to the embed code here. I'm going to drop it underneath everything. I'm going to click here, paste, center, and look what's in my web page, my wonderful little flashcards all about famous Supreme Court cases. So we are very nearly done with completing all of the elements on the rubric here and getting an outstanding grade on this wonderful project here. So if you've got your big idea, you've got your 2 smaller ideas. In my case, I used PictoChart for the big idea, thing link for one of the smaller ideas, and Study or Quizlet for the other small idea. If you're going to use StudyStack or Quizlet, choose one or the other. Don't use both, please. And then next thing on there is a link to my DIGO library. So if I go to here and I go to my DIGO library, here it is. I'm just going to go to my library on DIGO. And you can also always get to this. You click the little DIGO button up here and click my library, and it will take you directly to my library in DIGO. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to my Weebly here. I'm going to throw in one more button right next to this guy here. I'm going to put DIGO library, and I'm going to link, paste, and boom, there we go. Okay, very, very nearly done. The very last thing that you will have to do, and I would recommend, putting this in a conspicuous place. So I'm going to go ahead and put one more button, and I'm going to make the button bigger up top here. I'm going to make it all the way up top, and I'm going to make this button a little bit bigger. Button style, I'm going to change it to a bigger button. I'm also going to go ahead and center it. And this would just be final reflection. So for your final reflection on the rubric, you're going to combine your observations and reflection into one single document. So what you will do, and the best place to do this is in your folder. So this is my folder. So in my folder, if I open up my folder, that is my things for Google Drive, I'm going to go ahead and click, right click inside this. It's going to come up and it's going to say, you want to create something new? I'm going to create a Google Doc, and I will call this observations and reflections. Okay, go ahead and type up all your stuff here. And then when you are done, you can go ahead and click share. Once again, choose get shareable link. Copy that and paste it into here. Very, very nearly done here. Press save. So if we go over the rubric, we have our opening statement, our Nearpod, our Ed puzzle. We have our Google Slides. We have another Ed puzzle. We have a link to our That Quiz. We have a link to a bigger project that we did, that created something. We have a link to quizzes. We have a link to our Digo library. We have 2 links to smaller projects. Links are embeds. And then lastly, we have our final reflection, a link to our final reflection document. One thing I just want to reassure you is please make sure that you create that final reflection document in your folder. Mine is called Mike Spring 2016. The rest of you have folders that are called Your Name Spring 2016, I believe, I think is the name of the folder. So with that, you can finally press publish. And once you are published, if you haven't already got a domain, mine is called In Pursuit of a 100% Day.weebly.com. You can then click through to this. You're going to copy this link, and the last thing that you will do is go to the website. I will send this link out to you, edutech.mrmanzero.com. Project 1, digital portfolio. Oops, that's not it. I actually clicked on the wrong thing here. I'm sorry. There we go. I will send this link out to you so you don't have to know how to get to it, but you can just go your name, Mike, and then paste in your web link there. Make sure you click submit. And there you are completed with project 1. I will change this video here to be the 2016 video. All right, that is all.